Nigeria, there are some places that if you are a single girl, you want to rent a house, they will tell you they cannot rent a house to a single girl. They cannot rent a house to you because you're unmarried. That is how terrible it is over here. I think Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking. If you're new here, my name is Emily. I'm a lifestyle content creator based in Abuja, Nigeria. Feels good to have you here today. Please subscribe and turn on post notification. And if you end up enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, alright? So guys, in today's video, we are going to be talking about something that I have shied away from in a long time. A part of me that I never really want to talk about. I've pretended for the longest that this part of me does not exist. But today, as you have seen in the title, I'm going to be talking about the harsh reality of being single in Africa, being a single girl, being single in Nigeria. I'm going to talk about everything that, has to do with the realities of being a single girl living alone in Nigeria and in Africa at large. I'm opening up about this aspect of my life to you guys because you guys are like family, and family share. If you're someone like me out there too that is facing the same challenges or going through the same thing at this point, we can relate, right? So yeah, let's take it back in Nigeria, because I'm going to speak specifically for Nigeria because that is the place I live and that's the place I have really experienced. If you ask 50 girls what they want to do after graduation, I assure you 45 or 46 or 48 of those girls will tell you they want to settle down, they want to get married, they want to build a family, they want to have children, they want to meet the perfect man and have the perfect life, the fairy tale married life that they were brought up to believe they want or they can have. What happens when you finish school, you get a job, and this aspect of your life does not come to reality? You don't achieve this goal, right? As an African girl or as a Nigerian, from a very young age, you are being conditioned, trained, prepared for marriage, right? Everything you do revolves around the topic of marriage. If you make a mistake in the house, the elders there, your parents, your elder sibling, your mom would say things like, oh, is this how you are going to behave in your husband's house? Is this how you will do in your husband's house? Is this what you'll be doing in your husband's house? Or you hear things like, better learn how to cook so that you'll be able to take care of your husband. Better learn how to manage the home so that you'll be able to manage the home for your husband. You see, all these kind of things begins to condition the mind of a girl child to only think marriage, to only think settling down. And when you've lived your life around this kind of mindset, with people that have this kind of mindset, when it's time for you to eventually get married and you don't see this marriage coming through, you begin to feel like a failure. You begin to feel like you've not achieved anything, and it's not just you that is feeling like you are a failure or you failed. The society will consistently remind you that you have failed. In Nigeria, for instance, no matter what you achieve as a girl child, no matter what you achieve as a female, as a girl, if you are above the age of marriage, let's say you are 25 and above and you're not married, no matter what you do, it is not considered an achievement if marriage is not one of those things that you will achieve. If you have not brought a man to the house for your parents that this is the man I want to marry, no matter what you do, even if you elevate your entire family lineage from poverty, there will still be that constant reminder. So when are you getting married? When are you bringing the man? When are you going to settle down? So this and more we are going to be talking about in this video. And like I said earlier, if you're someone that have experienced this or is living this, let me know your thoughts and your experiences down in the comment section. And like I mentioned, I'm speaking specifically for Nigeria, and if you're in any of the African countries or wherever you are, let me know what the realities are for young women out there that are unmarried. Okay, so first we're going to start with the societal pressure that comes with being unmarried in Africa, okay? As a young unmarried woman or unmarried female in Nigeria, there are different kinds of pressure that you can face. You have the societal pressure, family pressure, pressure that you put on yourself, and then biological clock pressure, okay? So we start with the societal pressure. In a society like Nigeria, if you're someone that is unmarried, be rest assured that many people will be in your business. A lot of people will be in your business asking you, oh, why are you not married? When are you going to bring the man? When are you going to give us jollof rice? When are you going to call us to come and enjoy? You see all those questions that will trigger you and make you think about your life and begin to ask yourself questions. What is wrong with me? Why can't I find a man? People will ask you in this Nigeria. I remember I have this friend that we did NYSC together. She got married a few years after we finished NYSC, and this particular friend, every time she sees me, Afana, when are you going to get married? She's a female, not even a man or an elderly person, somebody that we are in the same age grade with. When are you going to get married? Every single time she sees me, when are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? When are you going to bring the man? I'm like, what is all this? I remember the last time I saw her, I had not seen her for a long time, so I called her to ask how she was doing, but she missed my call. She did not take it. And then I eventually saw her when I was passing by, and she was like, oh, I saw your missed call the other day. I'm sorry I did not pick. Were you calling me to invite me for your wedding? And I'm like, what? Take a chill pill. So these are the things that you face as a single girl in Nigeria. I also remember having a colleague back then at work. This lady, every single time she see you, she's praying, may God give you husband, may God give you, like it's everybody's problem, everybody's concern that you're married. There was even a time this particular lady also went ahead as buying jewelry for all the single girls in my office. She said she prayed in it, and that anybody that wears this jewelry will get married, will find husband, just in case you are looking for husband. You see all those kind of things. People actually, from their perspective, they are doing it because they love you or they care about you, but they don't really pause to understand the kind of pressure, these questions, this constant reminder of the fact that you are unmarried is putting on you, right? They don't really understand that this constant question of when are you getting married, when will you bring the man, is a way of putting you under pressure, which is why most people in Nigeria, they rather remain in an abusive marriage, a marriage where nothing is working, than walking out of that marriage and being single, because they don't want to face the societal pressure, the questions, the oh, so you left your marriage, or you are not getting married to him because he's this, so you are not marrying him because he's that. Do you think anybody is perfect? You know, all of those things are some of the reasons why African women, especially Nigerian women, most unmarried females in Nigeria are very unhappy or being pressured into getting married, okay, to whoever is available. Secondly, I'll be talking about the family pressure. For me, I would say I'm very fortunate to come from a family where people in my family are very smart, and in that aspect they are very understanding. My mom, for instance, is not the kind of woman that will consistently call you on phone, or when are you bringing the man, when are you getting married, and all of that. I remember I have people that will be telling me, oh, their mom called them to ask them, when are you getting married, when are you doing this, when are you doing that. And one day I was just chatting with my mom, and then I asked her, oh, why is it that you don't ask me, oh, when are you getting married, when are you bringing a man? And then she told me something very profound. I would never forget. She said that, I know that as a young woman, you want to get married. In as much as I want you to get married, I know you also want to get married. And I know that I don't want you to get married more than you want to get married. And I also know that if you find a befitting man, a man that I feel like you will get married to, you are not a child that you will not bring that man to the house. I know you will bring the man, and the marriage will hold. So there's no point of me putting you under pressure to go and look for a man, because I know that if you find someone that is good enough for you, you will bring the man to the house. So putting extra pressure on you is not going to make it happen faster. Rather, I'll just cause you more harm. And after that conversation, I was so happy. I felt so lucky to be blessed with such a mom. And that may not be the case for other women out there, other young women out there that are married. A lot of them have faced family rejection. They face problems in their homes because they are married. Some of them, their younger siblings no longer respect them because the younger siblings got married before them and they are still single. They don't respect them, they don't take their words for anything, they don't see them as anything. Why? Because they feel like they have not achieved that perfect life that is befitting for a woman, which is finding a man to put you in their house and wife you. Okay, so that is another kind of pressure that people go through. And imagine living in a house where every day you wake up, somebody is asking you, hey, so when are you going to bring the man? Why are you not married? What? Every single time, this can push a lady or a girl into settling for anything out there. Can make you want to settle for anything you see, just because you want this pressure to be off of your shoulders. Okay, so that's another form of pressure that people face when they are unmarried. And some people, they do not really care what you are doing for them. Like I mentioned earlier, you can have all the money in the world, you can be the president of your country as a female. If you are married, they would still look at you like, okay, you are not married, your life is incomplete, something is missing. When are you going to complete the circle? When are you going to fulfill the great expectation that people when are you going to fulfill the great expectation that people have of you by getting married? Okay, now I'm going to also talk about the male's perspective of women that are unmarried. Okay, there's a certain age you get to in Africa and in Nigeria specifically, and some men will begin to look at you as you're desperate, so they no longer want to treat you with respect. They feel like you should worship them. They feel like if they even stop you on the road to talk to you, you should be very happy and excited to receive them with both hands and take everything they say without arguing, without having your opinion, right? You know what, when they say, you should be excited that I'm talking to you, you should feel lucky that a man like me is talking to you at your age. You're almost expired. Nobody would likely want you at your age. And at this point, they believe that every woman within the age range of, let's say, 25 to 35 or 40 are very desperate for marriage, and they want to make you feel like they are doing you a favor. So they don't really care about taking you on dates, treating you nicely. They just feel like you should be very appreciative because they are talking to you. Okay, so that's another way, another kind of pressure that most young women in Nigeria that are married face. Men begin to treat you like they are the prize and they are doing you a favor, so you better accept it now, because they know that the society is not kind to unmarried females in this part of the world. So another kind of pressure that a woman can face, a young woman can face for being unmarried, is the biological pressure, right? You see all those things that has to do with menopause. You want to have kids, but you are not married, so there's no way you can have kids, and you know that at a certain age you will be unable to have kids. So you begin to put yourself under serious pressure because you want to settle down, you want to have a husband, you want to have children, so that before you get to that menopause age, at least you would have given birth to the children you want to have. So in as much as society is not so kind to women that are married, biologically as well, women are also quite unfortunate when it comes to the issue of marriage. Because for a man, for instance, can have a child at the age of 60, have a child at the age of 70, have a child at the age of 80 if they want to. But for a woman, that is almost impossible, because once you have passed the age of childbearing, it becomes very, very risky for you to have a child. It becomes almost impossible for you to have a child. All right, so these are the kind of things that most women think about. Young women think about these things, and they just want to get married to anybody no matter what. It is not fair, on like, it is not a good place to be in. And I'm making this video so that if you're out there as a young woman trying to put your life together, trying to survive, and you're also still facing a pressure of being unmarried, facing the societal pressure, the mockery of everything. In short, in Nigeria, there are some places that if you are a single girl, you want to rent a house, they will tell you they cannot rent a house to a single girl. They cannot rent a house to you because you're unmarried. That is how terrible it is over here. I think I have experienced that in this Abuja, and I've heard a lot of people experience it. I remember when my sister was not married too. Now she's married and with 2 kids. I remember when she was not married too, sometimes she'll be out something, you see a house you like, you want to pay for it, and the landlord asks, are you married? You say no, you are not married. They're like, I'm sorry, I cannot give my house to an unmarried person. So you see, the society is not very kind to young women. Some family members are not also kind to young women that are unmarried. So I am making this video to encourage a young woman out there that is facing this kind of challenges. You are not alone, okay? Do not pressure yourself into marrying anything else. You know, my mom will always say that it's better to be single praying to get married than to be married and praying to be single because you married the wrong person, right? So there's no point getting into a relationship just because of pressure, or staying in a bad relationship just because of pressure of the society. Okay, so I just decided to talk about this thing today because, you know, I want to gist with you to let you guys know that, okay, this is what it is. I am single, I am unmarried, and I live alone in Abuja. You know, I've been living alone for quite some time now, and it has not been the easiest. So if you are out there facing the same thing, do know that you are not alone, and don't allow the pressure to get to you. I know it can be very challenging, the loneliness, the financial burden, the societal the judgments you get from the society, you know, a lot of all those things. And if you are married in Nigeria, you don't want to have an argument with anybody, both male and female, because the next thing they will call you is ashawo because you are not married. So yeah, those are the things I want to talk to you about today. I hope you are able to get encouragement from this video, and remember that there's so much more to you than just being married. You have so much more to offer. There's so much more to life than just being married. You have to, even if you're single, be happy, enjoy this phase, because it's going to pass, and when it passes, you will never go back there again, because that's the plan. Everybody plans to marry once, you know, so it's better to marry once than to keep marrying and marrying and marrying. So yeah, know that it is just a phase that is going to pass, and one day you're going to look back to the point where time when you were single, when you have kids disturbing you, roaming around, you know, you sort of miss the time that you are single. You have your peace, you have your state, you have your space to yourself, all of those good stuff. So I'm saying this to say, enjoy this phase of singleness, okay? Because it's gonna pass and you're gonna miss it. And I am sending you all virtual hugs wherever you are. If you are dealing with singleness, loneliness, having to think for yourself all the time, having to be responsible for yourself all the time, you pay your bills, you pay your rent, you run your home. When you don't cook, you can't eat because there's nobody to help, and all of those things. You are not alone. Yes guys, that's basically what I want to talk about in this video. I feel like this video is all over the place. I hope I'm able to pass my point, and I hope you get what I'm trying to say in this video. Do let me know what your experience is in the comment section. Are you someone that is going through this, or you went through this before you got married and now you're married, happily married? Do let us know, encourage us in the comment section. And for us, the single ones, let's also talk in the comment section and give ourselves hope down in the comments. Okay, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next one. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you end up enjoying this content, do well to give it a huge thumbs up. Okay, I'm gonna see you all in my next one, guys. Until then, bye.